Hello, YouTube and Universe, and welcome to Starstorm Productions. I'm your host, Morro, here to bring you everything new on your favorite brands and more. And today, we will be taking a look at some new reveals for Beyblade X. Before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and notification. It may be a small click for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. Thank you. Without further ado, let's begin. Today, we'll be taking a look at some of the new CX releases, starting off with CX-07 Pegasus Blast. And I have to say, whoever did that digibash of him deserves to go on the Team for Takara because they got it very accurate. But anyway, let's talk about this. Now, he is a starter set, so he will be coming with a launcher. And, of course, it looks like your standard launcher, but it comes with the same ripcord that came with Samurai Saber. And honestly, I understand because that ripcord is way better than the standard one. But let's talk about the actual Bey now. Starting off with the chip and blade, I love how both of them look together. Of course, we have the white horse that represents Pegasus with blue hair, just like the original Metal 5 version. But I also like the neon green they used for it. Makes it seem calm. And yeah, it looks pretty good. And of course, it has a 3-bladed design because, well, it's an attack type and it helps shows the homage with the original Pegasus. And if I'm being honest, this seems to be more of an homage to Big Bang Pegasus. And the reason I say that is because of the bit, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But all in all, it looks pretty good. And I also like that it has the wings inside of it, which is represented by the white wings, and the casing around it being cyan. Though I know it's probably going to chip after a couple battles. I never like when that happens. But other than that, it seems to be pretty good. Moving to his assist blade, it comes with Assault. And it's more like a triangle kind of assist blade. I don't really know what to say about it. It seems to be protruding whenever it's in battle, and it looks pretty good, though it's probably going to chip since it's protruding a little bit because it's not completely under it. There's a little gap in between. So that just makes me worried about it because this is just plastic. It's going to chip eventually if you do a ton of battles with it. But I think it might be good for the attack type combos because of the shape alone being triangular. It could go, well, each point goes under one of the wings and you could just have it do a double attack at that point, which is pretty cool. But other than that, there's nothing really much to say about the assist blade. The only thing is I worry it's going to break. Moving on to the bit. Yep, that's right. We're skipping the ratchet because it is a fused bit, basically mixing the ratchet and bit together. And I was waiting to see when this would happen, and it goes perfectly with the gimmick that. But let me not get ahead of myself. The bit is called Turbo, and it's basically your final drive of the series. And if you don't know what final drive is, go back and look into it. But for a quick analysis of it, basically it's a spin track from Metal Fight that when the battle starts, it has a little tip at the end, giving more of a defensive property. But as the battle goes on and loses stamina, the tip closes and goes inside the bit, and it basically makes it flat and makes it a full attack type, which they prominently show off in this trailer right here. Now, don't get me wrong. It sounds like a good idea, but in practice, it hasn't been the best for certain Beys. You have to have a good combo for it to actually work. But I think it's a good idea to introduce it with Pegasus because, well, one of the most well-known versions of Pegasus, Big Bang Pegasus, using something that's similar to Final Drive, yeah, that works perfectly for Pegasus Blast. I also like how they just make it a fusion one with the ratchet and bit. It makes it unique compared to other ones. Though I wonder how fragile this will be because, don't get me wrong, most ratchets don't break. But with it being fused, I don't know how it's going to go. That's the only thing. But other than that, I can't really complain about it. Hopefully it performs good. Next up, we have CX-08. The Cerberus Flame Random Booster. Now, I am excited for this one because of the prize Bey alone, that being Cerberus Flame. Now, Cerberus was one of my favorite Beys in Metal Fight, and Cerberus from Burst was one of the first ones I've ever gotten as a Beyblade. So, getting a new kind of Cerberus is always so good to see because they are always my favorite Beys. But anyway, let's take a look at this Bey first. Starting off with its blade and chip. It just, oh, it looks amazing. The chip depicts the three-headed dog, the underworld Cerberus, and the way they did it looks so good. And as someone who owns a Rottweiler, it looks very similar to one, to me at least. So, I'll take that as a win. I also like the orange design they have behind it to represent flames, because that from the two hind dogs at the back, it looks like flames are erupted from, which goes into its name, Cerberus Flame. Though I did wish it was yellow so it could be more of an homage to the original Cerberus that was in Metal Fight. But other than that, it looks like it's pretty good. I also like how it's a rounded shape. Basically, even though it's a stamina type, it still has pretty good defensive properties. Moving on to the assist blade, we have Wheel. And it is a completely round assist blade. There's nothing really else to say about it. It's just round. Though it is going to be good for an assist blade, I just don't know how to feel about it. It's just a round piece of plastic that goes onto your Bey. I think it will give some good stabilization, but yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. Moving to its ratchet, we have 580, and even though it's a ratchet that's been out for a while, it's still a pretty good one, and I use it in some of my combos right now. So yeah, if you don't have that many parts, but you have 580, I would recommend using it. Though there are superior ones like 960. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. Now, finally, for its bit, we have Wall Ball. And I like how it looks. I like the jagged appearance of it, and I believe it will work perfectly because if it bends on the stadium, with it being jagged, it will make it pop back up so it can have good stabilization, which, going with the round shape of Flame Cerberus and the wheel assist blade, this may be the stabilization king of Beyblade X. Now, don't quote me on that. I don't want to be quoted on that, okay? And now, one thing is, it seems to have the 16 gears like glide and level. So it might get a good extreme dash for when it hits the rails, but if it does, it will lose a ton of stamina. But all in all, I have really good hopes for this Bey. Also, here's a side profile of it just so you can see how it looks all together, and it is a round boy. But other than that, that's really it when it comes to Cerberus Flame. Let's move on to the other Beys that come in this random booster. Starting off with the second rare Bey, we have Whale Flame. And it looks pretty good. I love how the chip looks with the whale having a horn on top and it just being angry. It just looks pretty cool to me. Though it kind of contradicts itself with being called Whale Flame. Whales don't work with fire. They're mammals. They'll burn, especially with all the fat they have. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And with it being a round design, you could make a pretty good defensive combo with this. But it is a balance type combo, which is also pretty good for it as well. Now for the assist blade, we have Massive. Now it is a 5-point design, which will go perfectly with any 5 ratchet that you have. And it seems to be a pushed up assist blade, basically just being close to the blade of the Bey. So I wonder how that will go, because I'm seeing that it may have some good defensive and attack combos with it. And all in all, I think this will be a pretty good assist blade. And moving on to the ratchet and bit, they are reused from other Beys, that being 385 and Taper, which, yeah, I can see that being a pretty good combo. Plus, with the tall height, it may lead to pretty good defensive combos. Next up, we have Cerberus Dark, which, of course, reuses the Cerberus chip, but in a blue color. And here's the thing. If you get this one plus Whale Flame, you can just make a blue version of Cerberus, which I will definitely be trying to get. But I also like how the dark wheel, I keep saying wheel, it's the blade. As you see, I have Metal Fight on the mind right now. But anyway, for the blade, it is a green version of dark, and I honestly love how it looks. As someone who loves when green pink slash purple are merged together, it works perfectly. And for the ratchet and bit, it comes with 160 and flat, which I'm not that happy about it getting flat. I was thinking it could get another attack bit, like what if Cyclone or Vortex or any other attack bit than flat, because we have a ton of recolors of that already. But other than that, it's a pretty good part. The only thing that's wrong with it is it doesn't have that good of stamina. The next one is a silver and blue drawn buster. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It reminds me of the silver and blue drawn sword that came out a while ago. And it looks pretty good. Drawn buster is one of my favorite attack type blades. So, yeah, I can see it being good. For the other parts, we have 580, which is pretty good. Then for the bit, it has Metal Needle, which is a terrible bit, and I will be replacing it as soon as I get it. After the Drawn Buster, we have Pink Shell. Yes, I know it's a pink-black shell, but I'm just going to call it Pink Shell because that works way better. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of a Psychic type from Pokemon because of the shade of pink it uses. And it will be coming with 770, which, okay, I like the 70 hype because of it being in between 60 and 80. And Wall Ball, which, okay, we could give this to the blue version of Cerberus Flame that we have. And finally, the final Bey we have is a yellow Cobalt Dragoon. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It kind of looks like it's going Super Saiyan, and I like it. And I also like the little sparkles they have in the middle of it. For the parts, it comes with 455 and a white version of White Ball, which, okay, I can see this being a pretty cool combo. I don't know what else to think about it, though. But all in all the Beys in this random booster seem to be pretty good, except for the white drawn buster. But other than that, I really like it. And all in all, that's really it when it comes to these two releases for Beyblade X. And honestly, these have to be some of the best CX Beys we've seen so far. At least in my opinion, they are. But let me know in the comments down below, how do you guys feel about them? Are you excited or are you on the fence about them? And if that's everything, that's a wrap. Fade to black.